Hi, this is the Delight Knits podcast episode 10. My name is Emily and I'm coming to you from Southwest Arkansas on Sunday, March 27th of 2022. It has been about 3 weeks since I last sat down and recorded a podcast. A week ago, I was getting prepared to go back to work from about 10-week maternity leave. So I did not have the brain space to sit down and record a podcast. Going back to work went great. Taking both kids to daycare went great. But it was not... Sunday was not a good day to sit down and record. Neither was Saturday. So I'm coming to you a week later than normal, but that's okay, since I didn't really have much time to knit last week either. So you can find me on Instagram as Delight Knits, on Ravelry as Delight Knits, and you can email me at delightknits@gmail.com, and I'll have all of those linked below. And I believe that's about all intro-wise I have. So I've got a couple finished objects and a couple of whips, but no acquisitions. So I have 2 washcloths that I finished. They're 2 different purples. This one's a lighter. Still have to weave in an end. This is darker. I think I finished another of the lighters, but I had already gifted it to my sister-in-law when they were here one weekend. So I've got 2 of those. I've actually knit quite a bit of washcloths this year so far, which just a good little quick project that I can pick up and sit down as I am home alone with the kids or just something like that. So my next finished object is pretty big. It is my Honey, I Shrunk the Stash shawl that I knit for the We Share Lidl Shalala Long, and I did finish it in time. I finished it about 2 weeks ago. I did not end up finishing it off with the navy. I just ended with the purple because it was big enough. I mean, my arm is all the way up. It's huge. I don't think I'll be able to get it in this frame all the way, but with how I'm sitting. But it is huge. It's a symmetrical triangle, I think is what it's called. But this is knit using all of the scraps from previous projects. It's the Honey, I Shrunk the Stash shawl by Knit Graffiti, and it is an all over brioche. And so the colors are actually so all leftovers, and I had so many leftovers, and you'll see more of these leftovers and a whip coming up. But the sand is from my Slipping Tiles shawl. So the sand, the mauve, the light blue, and the brown are all from my Slipping Tiles shawl. The navy is from my Boxy, and then the 2 purples are from my Winter Lights shawl. So, and they're all yarns that I've dyed myself, and it is a 75-25 base. But I'm super happy to finally have it off the needles. I did get it done in time for the knit along end date. But I love this shawl, and of course it's getting too warm to wear it. Here in Arkansas, it's getting to the point where I could wear it like going to the car and going into work in the mornings. But by mid-afternoon, it's too hot. So we'll see if I get to wear it again, but probably not. It'll probably just sit for a little bit until it starts getting cool again in the fall. But I love this shawl. It's super squishy, and it was a great like brioche project. I'm one of those that brioche is like stocking knit for me. It's super relaxing. I mean, a little more goes into it than this just stocking knit stitch, but it was great for while I was on maternity leave and needed something simple yet not just mindless. So loved it. And I loved it so much I have another all over brioche project on my needles. I do have another finished object as well. I don't have them with me because my daughter wore them yesterday and they are dirty, but I will pop a picture in probably about right here. Last episode I was knitting on a pair of socks for my toddler, and I was using the magic heel for the first time because of course her feet are going to grow. She's only 2.5. Her feet are going to grow. And so they fit perfectly. I think I got a picture of them finished and then a picture of her wearing them with her rainbow Crocs because she chose to wear them yesterday. But they turned out great. I don't know if I would knit the magic heel socks for myself, but for kids who are going to keep growing, I think it's worth it because they'll last quite a bit longer. So that was another finished object. Let's see. My whip that hasn't gotten much love the last week is I cast on the newspaper Pullover by Locatelli. And it is another all over brioche project. Let's see where. And so here is the start of it. I have a few more yoke increases to go before they're more raglan, before I get to split for the sleeves. Okay, so I forgot where I left off, but my newspaper Pullover by Locatelli. I've got a couple more increases for the yoke until I split for the sleeves, but I am loving this so far. It's definitely not something I can knit while my daughter's running around or my son's getting needy, but it is my nap time knitting, hopefully evening knitting soon enough, but I'm loving it. The two colors I'm using are, let me see, I've got the tags here. So they're Ruby and Roses yarn. The silver here is Mirror on her Fragrant Rose base. And then the pink is Sangria on her Soft Rose base. And they are similar yardage. I think there's literally only a 2-yard difference between the 200 gram skeins. They are applied pretty similar. One just has cashmere and one is not. But I'm loving this knit. Super excited to get going on it again. So I've just started the other color change. So I've just started where the section below this will be the pink in the front and these will be the silver in front. So it's looking great. I'm excited to be able to wear it. Probably again in the fall, but you gotta knit. If you don't knit it now, you're not gonna be able to wear it in the fall. So my only other whip that I have going on right now is a pair of Scrappy socks, and these are using the same leftovers. I didn't have much left of these colors, and so I just wanted to use up every last bit. I didn't want to put it back in my stash. So I've used up every single inch of this blue, and they do match. I took my spare balls and literally split them in half and knit concurrently, so I know they're matching. So I've used up every bit of this blue, every bit of this purple, and I repeated them down here, and then every bit of the light purple as well, and the brown. And I have quite a bit left over of the mauve, the navy, and the tan. Let me see, I actually may be able to show you. See, there's quite a bit left over of those three. I'll definitely get at least one more pair of socks out of them, which I plan on starting right after I finish with these. But I knit, let's see, it's a 20 round cuff, and then I think I did 12 rounds and 12 rounds. I think about 10 rounds, maybe another 10 And then this one, I literally split the ball in half. Like you can see it finished right there in the back of the heel. I did the slip stitch, heel flap, and gusset. This is all 64 inches on my size 0 9-inch circulars Chow Goo. This stitch marker is Sassafras Knits, and same one over here. They're both Sassafras Knits, as well as the bag. I don't think I've showed off. I was using this bag last time, and I don't think I showed it off. This is my little sock bag, again by Sassafras Knits. Don't know how much she does or has on her site right now, but I love her stuff. So that's what I'm knitting on currently. This is what I knit on the way to work when my husband drives and while I'm pumping at work because breastfeeding. And at lunch. So this is what has gotten a lot of love here lately. I need to try and find some time to knit on my sweater. But that's about all that's going on. You might be able to hear my son kind of crying in the background. My husband's trying to get him to sleep. He's fighting it pretty bad. But it is a gorgeous day today, so we'll probably try and spend some time outside. I'm sitting right in front of the window. Got some gorgeous light right here, but we'll probably try and spend some time outside once my daughter wakes up. And that's about it. I mean, life right now, we're trying to find our new normal of me returning to work and kids going to 2 separate daycares, because trying to find an infant spot at a daycare when your son came 4 weeks early was difficult. I mean, there's a lot of babies being born right now that have, and there's wait lists at like 4 of the 5 daycares where we needed a spot. So luckily he will be at the same daycare as my daughter in August. We for sure got in there, so that'll be great. But I hope everybody is having a great start to their spring if you're in the same hemisphere as I am. But yeah, I think that's it. So I hope y'all have a great day. Happy knitting. Bye.